one and all. Oh my gosh, do you guys get it? I hope you get it because you clicked on this video, so that'd be weird if you didn't. Also, quick note, the reason that this video's video quality is probably so bad, not that it's ever really good, but it's probably extra bad because I am filming on my webcam today because I am too lazy to try to figure out how to sync up external video with the video that I'm gonna be recording on my desktop. So yeah, that's true. Also, another update, if you've been watching my channel and you're a fan of the channel and you're a real one, if you want to be a real one, please subscribe. That'd be really cool. But if you watched my previous couple of videos where I was like not feeling that great and I was not sounding that great, I'm feeling a lot better now, so yay! Another update is that I'm feeling a little lazy, which is why today's video is a tier list. And not to throw any shade, but I've been nervous about doing tier lists because one of my friends told me, and like I believe on this channel, that she thinks tier lists are like a bit lazy. So yeah, but I don't think she watches my videos, so we have hope, fellas. Anyways, I am a big Dimension 20 fan. I actually have postponed filming this video all weekend because I have just been rewatching Dimension 20 and I'm like, man, wouldn't it be awful to turn off my show and to turn on a camera? Wow, that sounds awful. And so I haven't. And that is why I am filming this at 10 p.m. on Sunday. I don't think it's a secret that I'm just constantly behind on all things about YouTube. Okay, I'm rambling too much. So I am a big Dimension 20 fan, as I was saying, and I assume that most of you guys are too, or else why would you be watching this video? That'd be a little weird, unless again, you're a really great fan and you're subscribed. So anyways, for whatever reason, if you don't know what Dimension 20 is, I'm gonna do a quick little summary. It's an actual play, like D&D show by Dropout, formerly known as College Humor. What made this show kind of stand out at the beginning originally is that it's the original College Humor cast, and they're all kind of like comedy writers and improvisers. Like that's kind of the stick of what makes them different. So not only is it like super funny and witty, but the stories are also not afraid to stray away from like classic D&D like stories and settings. It's also led by the iconic Brennan Lee Mulligan. The show itself has been going on for over 5 years now, and it's become like pretty popular. I think it's a notable one when talking about actual play shows, so it's kind of up there. In my knowledge, it's one that's talked about whenever the discussion of actual play shows are being discussed. Dimension 20 is an anthology show, so every season takes place in a new setting and with new characters unless it's a sequel. As I said, for how long it's been going, there are a lot of seasons. They've been able to explore a lot of settings, a lot of tones. They've used different like tabletop like gaming systems or a combination of them. They've had different DMs and other guest players, so it's pretty big. There are usually like side quests and like mini campaigns that are typically shorter than the main season, and then they always have like a main season, and these feature the original 6 players with Brennan as the DM, and those seasons are a little bit like more longer, and so they have more time to be more immersive. You get a good time enjoying the characters and also enjoying the players. Yeah, and I wanted to rank them today. So today, the tier list that I found, I will be ranking both side quest and main storylines. I feel like they're relatively hard to compare, at least in my opinion, so like take the differences into account. So yeah, let's get into the tier list making. So today I will be using this tier list. I'll have it linked below. I did change the category names because the one that I originally found just had like Nat 1, Nat 20, and it has like an easier logic for my brain to follow, like, oh, like I watched this show over and over again, or I don't want to watch it again. So it helps me even it out, because I'm not gonna lie, I love Dimension 20 so much that like if it wasn't split up into this kind of category, they would all be like S tier and A tiers. I feel like it's easier for me to be like, oh yeah, I wouldn't watch that again, or oh, I didn't finish it. So, but it is up to date with the most recent campaigns going on. That's why we are using it. I think the best way to go about this is just to like chronologically go through by like release order. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone because I don't know if I will remember. So obviously the first series or I guess season that Dimension 20 released is Fantasy High. Okay, this is already hard for me. I think here's the thing, the first season, because the series itself, it has multiple seasons. I love like the universe of Fantasy High. It now has 3 seasons, right? And ask me like 4 years ago, this would be easy S tier. So I think on principle, I want to put it as an S tier because I think like I have such nostalgia surrounding it. However, like I don't want to rewatch it anytime soon because I feel like I've just watched it so many times, and like if I want to revisit the world, I want to watch a more recent season. But I feel like that's controversial. Like it'd be crazy for me to not put this in S tier, but let's put this in A tier right now and we'll get back to it, okay? Depending on how we're feeling. It's Gorga, keep going. Like I'm a big Fantasy Higher, okay? I really enjoy it. I'm not like a fake. The next one is the like side quest, Escape from the Blood Keep. I have watched this, so this is gonna go in a watch. I don't think I have rewatched it intentionally. Maybe intentionally is not the best word, but I have gone back, and it's not that long of a season, but I like will go back and I'm like, oh, I want to watch this one joke or this one punchline or like this one small arc, and so I might go back and I'll like rewatch like an episode or like half an episode, but I don't think I've sat down and like fully rewatched it. I'm still debating Fantasy High because I have rewatched it probably too many times. I don't know. I'll get back to it, I promise. The next that they said they uploaded is The Unsleeping City. So The Unsleeping City probably falls into the same problem as Fantasy High for me because these were like the first 2 like main campaign seasons, and so they have had the most time for me to rewatch. So like in theory they'd be regular rewatch is the problem. But now again, like 5 years, 6 years later after they have been aired, I don't like, I feel like I know them too intimately to rewatch them. I still feel like Fantasy High is better than The Unsleeping City season 1 for me. So I'll leave it like that. I don't know, guys. I don't know. This will be really interesting. Tiny Heist, I actually have not watched. I don't think I really am planning to watch it. I feel like there's so much Dimension 20 content out there now. And the concept of it never really appealed to me. So now let's go to A Crown of Candy. So here's the thing. Here's something that I might say that's controversial. It's not actually controversial, but people might take it as controversial. I feel like obviously there's probably a lot of love around A Crown of Candy. And it's not that I necessarily disliked it. I got a lot of anxiety watching it. It was just more intense. And again, I know people really like that. I've seen like clips, even the players are getting really into it and like crying, and like that's really great and really fun. And I have nothing really against it, but I like whenever I want to relax, the last thing I want to do is like be like so high anxiety. But like some reason A Crown of Candy just made me like actually anxious. And this is the thing about me where there are just shows and movies that I have not watched or could not finish because it just made me a little too anxious. So it does go into did not finish, but don't think it's like because I hated it, I wasn't like, oh, I hate this concept or I hate the choices that were made. And I think that there's a lot to love. It was just too high stakes for me. So that's why it did not finish. So I did skip Dimension 20 Live, which I think was premiering before A Crown of Candy actually debuted. So real talk, season 2 of Fantasy High for me was better than Fantasy High. I don't know what about it. I think I liked the environment of it being live. I feel like that was really fun because I personally really like, you know, the players themselves. Like whenever it was like the actual players just like talking, I'm like, man, I could listen to this forever. So I just really liked them. I liked that it was live. It felt fun. I also think it's better than Fantasy High itself because like you can tell they were like more comfortable playing D&D, and they were more comfortable like with each other and their characters, right? So like for me, it's above Fantasy High. Like I actually cried while watching sophomore year, and I think also it does have like the little bit of like nostalgia lenses on because it came out like going into the pandemic, and so I had it on like all the times. For now, that's S tier. I still don't know if these are gonna sit in A tier or if these will move up, but we'll see. So after that, Pirates of Leviathan, I also have not watched. Yeah, it was, again, like it didn't really like interest me. I don't know. I didn't watch it. I don't have more to say about it. Okay, then The Unsleeping City, Chapter 2. So this is definitely, again, for the same reasons, at least above the first season for me. For the same reasons as like the players were more comfortable with their characters and with each other. Again, I also have the nostalgia lenses on because I watched this, like this was so defining in my life during that time because again, it was like peak 2021, like 2020, like we were in lockdown. I just started college. This is like a backstory that no one needed about me, but it was my freshman year of college. Like I graduated when the pandemic happened, and then I went in like the next August of like 2020, and like my entire life was like in my room because we weren't allowed to go out, and I had Unsleeping City Chapter 2 on in the background when I did like every piece of my work, especially like the adventuring academies, not the adventuring academies, the adventuring parties, which I kind of already talked about, were on like 24/7. I think it is this high because of just like what it meant to me, which I think is also still valid. Also, Cody's like my favorite thing ever. Next was Of Mice and Murder, or just Mice and Murder. Some reason I want to say Of Mice and Murder. This is actually a did not finish for me. I don't know why. I did start it. It was just like, it was hard for me to like keep up narratively, and I don't know exactly why. Like I don't know if the concept of the season wasn't as didn't speak to me as much, or I think it also could have been like the lack of being at the table, but I liked it. And I could see myself finishing it, so that's why it's above A Crown of Candy. The next was The Seven. I did start it, but I don't think I got anywhere close to finishing it. Like I don't think I finished the first episode. I'm gonna put it after A Crown of Candy. I don't know, it just didn't immediately like catch my mind. I feel like also I was just so like, by the time it came out, I'm like, oh, like I'm not in Fantasy High world right now, like, and I just never finished it. Shriek Week, I also did not finish. Man, I just am doing really badly right now. I'm putting at the top because this one is like a did not finish, but not because I didn't like it. I just am realizing I never finished it. Like I never consciously was like, oh, I don't think this is my cup of tea. I'm putting it at the beginning because I think I genuinely will finish it eventually. I think I would like it because I'm a really big like dating sim player, like in my real life. Like I love like dating sims and otome games, like that's my bread and butter. So I just really liked the mechanic of like, and like the concept of that. It basically functioned as a dating sim where they're like, I go to this location and I have the options of running into like these NPCs, and that was really fun. So I personally would put it high on did not finish. After Shriek Week, in my mind, we're like back in the dome, right? We're getting there. Starstruck Odyssey comes around. Can we all just agree that it's the best? It's the best. It's definitively like the best season for me. I loved A Starstruck Odyssey, one, because I feel like we were so in need of it, right? We had this big break. It wasn't that big, but we had a break of like a lot of like side quests, which are fun. I don't want to belittle them. But like we were like itching for a main story, like a main season. And we wanted one in person. We're back in the dome. We have the original 6 players that we have grown an attachment to. They're back in the dome. The dome's even like sicker. They're put in this really fun, cool sci-fi world, and like you can tell that the entire time like the players are really having fun. Like I don't know else to explain it besides like I feel genuine like excitement every time they were going, and it was like fun energy. They were not afraid to like be silly but like also super like serious. Yeah, like I don't know what to say besides like it deserves to be an S tier. They took big swings. I felt more than anything like in this season that I was partaking in gambling. It was just so exhilarating to watch. Like I was on the edge of my seat like the entire time it was releasing. It was really fun. Off and Run, I did not watch. It just flew under my radar, and I don't think I have like much want to watch it as of right now, so yeah. Next is A Court of Fae and Flowers. This is definitely S tier for me somewhere. I actually have been rewatching that this weekend. I cannot tell you how many times I have rewatched A Court of Fae and Flowers because I don't know why. It's just it's so great. Let me try to put this into words too. It's so like refreshing that it focuses on like relationship drama, and I feel like that's really right up my alley and like is really fun. And also I think it was really cool introducing different like mechanics and like meshing them up. I don't know, it was really fun and interesting, even just like rumor phases and like epistolary and like reputation. Like that was all just so fun and unique that it just makes it really stand out. So I actually might go higher because also Court of Fae and Flowers is just like 10 episodes, so it's so easy to just like be like, I'm gonna rewatch this. Hello, Editing Malia here. I just wanted to jump in because I realized that I did not mention like the Regency aspect of A Court of Fae and Flowers, and I just thought I should mention that I also am just like a sucker for that because like yes, I own all of Jane Austen's books. Yes, I own all of the Bridgerton books on my shelf. Yes, I watched Bridgerton. Like I love that. Haven't watched like all of the classics like Downton Abbey and stuff like that, but like that's also should be mentioned and noted. Next is Never After. This is something that I occasionally visit. Like I've rewatched a lot of the clips. I feel like they're really like fun in it, but I don't think I've like regularly rewatched it. I think I'm gonna put it A. And at the beginning of it, I don't know. I feel like for me it's like the Never After is just so like different and refreshing, but Fantasy High is like a staple. It's iconic. Maybe I just have like a modern bias where like newest will be better for me, but to me like I might keep it above Fantasy High. In my mind, I maybe do have recency bias. The Ravaging War is another one that I haven't watched, and it'll probably stay at the back of not being watched because I don't see why I would watch The Ravaging War if I haven't watched A Crown of Candy. Dungeons and Drag Queens, I did not finish, and it's probably going at the back. I like drag queens, like all of the drag queens they had on I'm like fan of. I like watching RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm like, okay, I'm like down for it, but like I watched the first episode so I didn't get too far into it, but like I think I was getting bored because I'm not like a big classic D&D person. The thing I like about Dimension 20 is that like all of the seasons have like some sort of like modern quirk about them or like something that I can easily catch on to, but I'm not like a big fantasy person in general. So like if there's not something that's like modernized or like explicitly like different, I kind of zone out whenever it's like, and you're going to a tavern to go into a cave and slay a dragon. And I don't know how Dungeons and Drag Queens turned out, so it might have picked up and been really crazy, but from what I did watch about it, I was kind of like, okay, this is just kind of classic D&D. So yeah. Mintopolis, which I still think should be Mindtopolis, I have not finished, but I don't think it's bad. I'm gonna put it in B because I think I really liked it. I just didn't finish it because I started watching it with my boyfriend and I didn't want to watch it without him, but we're really bad at like remembering to watch things together and finding time to like sit down and watch like 3 hours. We're long distance, by the way. So it's like I just never finished it, and now I feel bad finishing it without him. So I'm gonna put it like here because I don't think it goes and did not finish because I'm like, I didn't finish, it was boring. Maybe that would that help? And then maybe that will like maybe we'll call this did not finish but will. I like that. I like that. Oh, I skipped over Misfits and Magic. I'm sorry if people have been yelling at me for not doing it. This one is also pretty good. I have not rewatched it yet. I will, but I have not started season 2 yet. I've just been pushing it off. I will probably rewatch it to get myself in the mood for season 2. Burrow's End. This is another that I started but have not finished yet. Burrow's End, I genuinely do not remember the trailer for it. And if I don't catch it like while it's coming out, I'll be like, okay, I watched a couple of episodes, but then I live my life and then I forget to come back to it. So that's kind of where this is. But I am gonna put it at the end because I do feel like these are on like a higher order. Next is Fantasy High Junior Year. I don't know why, if I just have a thing for sequels, but this one also is like, I don't know if it makes S tier yet because I haven't rewatched it, but it does like scream as like this is going to be like a fave. I just really liked it. It's for the same reasons. Like maybe I have like the unpopular opinion because I feel like most people complain about sequels, not necessarily with Dimension 20, but just like kind of in general with movies and such. But I apparently really freaking love sequels when it comes to Dimension 20. But I do feel like it's up here. I don't think it's S yet, even though it was really fun. I'll put it here. Let's put it there, okay? Never Stop Blowing Up. I have watched it. I liked it. The question is, where do I like it? Technically have not rewatched it because it just kind of concluded, but even then it would probably be on the end of it because I don't feel like it's as iconic, but I really did like it. I think I'm gonna put it at the top of B. I feel like it was like fun, wild. I like the cast. I don't know. That's it. And Misfits and Magic, I have not watched, but I'm planning to, so I'm gonna put it at the top. So maybe I will put it like here because technically I did not finish, but I will. Let's put it here because I'll probably like again, I don't know. I liked the first season, so yeah, I feel like that's kind of even. Like I do enjoy it being relatively even. I was really afraid that I was gonna have like everything in S or everything in like have not watched and did not finish, and like B and C would not get a lot of love, but I do think making the executive decision of changing C to did not finish but will really helps with that curve. Let's look in the rows. I feel pretty happy with this. Yeah, I think that this might be where it is. This is it. I do not know if it's a frame. This is my current definitive list of ranking Dimension 20 seasons. Of course, this might change, and honestly, even like a year, this might change. Please let me know if there's anything you agree with me with, or if there are any choices that you would have made instead. Again, the tier list will be linked in the description if you want to, you know, join and do yours as well. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It means a lot to me. And please talk to me about Dimension 20. Okay. See you guys next time. And maybe not. Goodbye. It doesn't really work because I am on a webcam.